भगवान श्री योगी रामसूरतकुमार की जय। योगी रामसूरतकुमार, योगी रामसूरतकुमार, योगी रामसूरतकुमार, जय गुरु राया। योगी रामसूरतकुमार, योगी रामसूरतकुमार, योगी रामसूरतकुमार, जय गुरु राया।
योगी रामसूरतकुमार, योगी रामसूरतकुमार, जय गुरु राया।
राम 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 राम। Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Raya. Rama 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 Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram. Rama 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 Ram. Rama 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 Ram. Rama 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 Ram. Rama Rama Ram. Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Rama, Rama 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 Rama, Rama 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 Rama, Rama 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 Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Ramsuratkumar Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Rama. Rama 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 Rama. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Rama. Rama 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 Rama. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Rama. Rama 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 Rama. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Rama 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 Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Rama 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 Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Rama 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 Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Rama 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 Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Rama 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 Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Rama 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 Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jai Guru Raya. Raya. Rama 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 Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 Rama, Rama 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 Rama, Rama 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 Rama, Rama Rama Rama, Rama 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 Rama, Rama 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 Rama, Rama Rama Rama, Rama Rama Rama. Bhagwan Shri Yogi Ramsuratkumar ki jai. Sarvam Yogi Ramsuratkumar Arpanamastu. It's another day, one more day, granted by Bhagwan out of His grace and compassion and generosity. Every day morning, we start at 4 o'clock with the Divya Mangala Nama, Yogi Ramsuratkumar. By his grace, it's not possible otherwise. And the Nama goes on till 7:15. The evening twilight, the morning twilight, both are meant for worship. And by his grace, we have been able to do his worship as much as possible. Let us celebrate this gift of grace. Bhagwan had often said that everything happens only by the will of God. And whatever happens is necessary for our spiritual growth. Whatever happens is perfect because God's Leela is perfect. God's Leela is perfect because God is perfect. And since whatever happens comes from God, it's a blessing. After he said that, he went one step ahead and said, Devaki, wherever Father keeps this beggar and you, in whatever situation, we should not only accept it wholeheartedly, but be grateful to God for it. It is very difficult even to accept anything that happens as a blessing, but Bhagwan wants us to go ahead and see it as a blessing and be grateful to God for it. This is what a Mahatma does all the time. If Bhagwan got some food to eat in the days of his wandering, the 17 years he lived in the streets of Tiruvannamalai, it was surely Father's grace. If he did not get anything at all to eat for 3 days, 4 days, and if he went and stood before a tea shop for a cup of tea, and if they threw hot water on him, it was still Father's grace. When he was beaten up by the rowdies of the road for no reason at all, They snatched everything from him, the few possessions, the only possessions he had, a coconut shell, a few newspapers, and a panka, a hand fan. They threw it away and started beating. And when his body was oozing blood, with scratches all over, he was still able to say, "Let them go. They have done their work. Let us do Father's work." The messages the great ones give are the messages they lived. It is for us, the followers, to practice as much as we can. Otherwise, it's no use coming to him. And Bhagwan never missed an opportunity to point out the highest truth. Once, just as Ramakrishnan was coming from Tapovanam to have Darshan of Bhagwan, he was coming with his children, wife, after the afternoon prasad. And on the way, for some reason, the car stopped. It just wouldn't budge, no matter how much the driver tried. Just as Ramakrishnan and his people, they had to get down. It was burning hot. And they didn't know what to do. There was not a single tree around. And then it struck. It's only when he suffered, didn't know what to do, and they tried their best, he understood that he was helpless by himself. He remembered to chant the name of Bhagwan. And after he chanted, the car started. This is what we saw. And we saw another case where Professor Shankar Raju also had a similar experience. And in both the cases, Bhagwan pointed out that the one who started the car was the one who stopped it also. This is what we saw. Another time, we also saw Bhagwan declaring to Shri Janardanan that if you have faith in this beggar, you come here. If you don't have faith, don't come, go away. When you have faith in the lawyer, you take your case to him. Only when you have faith in the doctor, you go to him for treatment. So if you have faith in this beggar, you come here, otherwise go away. Now these are some of the glimpses that we get from the Devotees Experiences. But Bhagwan was very unpredictable. You would never know what he would say next, what he would do next. Now the one who declared, only if you have faith you can come here. Now we shall see what happened in the case of a devotee who had no faith at all in God. One Raja Ramalingam, who was working in a fiberglass factory in Salem, his house is in Rasipuram. He always commutes. Even now he commutes between Rasipuram and Salem, very near each other. The first time he had gone with some of his friends to a wedding in Balajapet. He had absolutely no faith in God or temples. After the wedding was over, his friends, especially one of them by name Saravanan, decided to go to Salem via Tiruvannamalai. So he kept persuading his friends to go to Tiruvannamalai. And of course, Raja did not feel like it at all, but he had no choice. So he accompanied them. After they came to Tiruvannamalai, they went to Arunachaleshwara Mandir. But Raja Ramalingam, he kept away. What superstition, all this. It's only a stone image. Why would you go and worship that? He kept away, safeguarding his skepticism. And then he thought, okay, that was all over and they would return immediately. But to his dismay, Saravanan declared that he was going to take them all to have darshan of a great master, a living master. Now once again, Raja Ramalingam felt very restless. He didn't want to come at all. When they went to the house of Sanadi Street, they found it locked. And people there told them that Swami was in the ashram and he could be seen only there. So Saravanan immediately rushed with his friends to the ashram, and Raja once again had no other go, no choice at all. But then he thought, okay, it would soon be over. So when they entered the ashram, Bhagwan was giving darshan in the dining hall. They all went and sat there. The singing, the Namasakirtan was going on, and it took quite some time. Now Raja saw what was happening. Swami started to walk up and down, blessing people. And there was no sign of ending of the session. He became very restless. He just came out. He walked out. Just when he was crossing the threshold, he heard a whisper in his ear. Somebody said, some voice said, "You go now, but you will be back here again next week." What a message. Who is it? How did he hear it? It was very distinct. Anyway, he was in no mood to take it seriously. He walked ahead to the vehicle and sat there, waited for his friends who came after some time. After he went back to his place, within a week's time, there was a function there in his office. He had to take a very important part in it, in organizing it. By the time the function was over, by the time he saw everybody off, after the function. It was late night. It was in fact early morning, 1:30 a.m. He was so tired, all that he wanted to do was go back home and relax. He was falling asleep even while walking. And then he came to the bus stand and there was a bus there ready to go to Rashipuram, his place. So he boarded the bus, comfortably lay down and promptly fell asleep. About 5 o'clock or so, the conductor was shouting, "Now please get down, all of you." So he woke up and then the conductor said, "Tiruvannamalai has come, you can get down." Now Raja was at a loss to know what had happened. And then he demanded the conductor, "You said it was going to Rashipuram, now you are announcing Tiruvannamalai." He said, "Yes, the bus was meant to go to Rashipuram. We do not know what happened. We got the order from the higher-ups to go to Tiruvannamalai." And now Raja began to wonder. Anyway, he got down and he found two other ladies getting down from the bus. And they were talking among themselves that they were going to Yogi Ramsuratkumar Ashram. And suddenly it flashed. Oh yes, didn't I hear the whisper that you will be here next week? My God, what has happened? It has come true. I find myself in Tiruvannamalai, much against my will. I didn't mean to come here at all. And then he knew the only thing he had to do was to follow those ladies. Soon he found himself in the ashram, and then he had darshan of Bhagwan also. When he sat there before Bhagwan, something melted in him. All that hardened atheism dissolved, and something like love took over his being. He became an ardent devotee of Yogi Ramsuratkumar. Now how would you say it? Bhagwan said, we've been seeing, we've been getting glimpses of Bhagwan. To some devotee he says, only if you have faith you come here. Now this man had no faith at all. He was an atheist. Now he has become an ardent devotee. Raja Ramalingam says, after some time, he had to, his parents started looking for a girl for him, for his marriage. And then there was a girl in Mallasamudram. The parents were taking him to see the girl. By then, Raja was such a devotee of Bhagwan, he kept saying to his friends, Bhagwan would choose for me. Whatever Bhagwan approves, whoever Bhagwan points out, I will marry. But then Bhagwan should tell me, point out who it is. I don't have to see the girl even. So this was his mindset. And he was proceeding towards the house of the girl. He prayed to Bhagwan, Bhagwan, if this girl is your choice, please give me some indication. And just as he was approaching the house, a crow had picked up a coconut shell with some coconut still sticking on, It was carrying it in its beak and it was flying. And somehow it dropped that coconut shell there right at the doorstep and flew away. Now, when he saw that, he knew instantly this was the girl for him, this was Bhagwan's choice for him. Just see how specifically things happen when you have faith in God. The girl, Geeta, became his wife. And of course, in the beginning, she did not have any faith in Bhagwan. It was all very new to her, but soon, when she had applied for a job, a government job, with prayer, with Bhagwan's grace, she got it against all odds. So that settled it for her. Now the whole family is devoted to Bhagwan and they keep coming here. This way I have already shared with you once before, but certain stories we have to remember again and again. What does it mean? In one place Bhagwan says one thing, in another place he says something, he does something else. Bhagwan often said that he was consistently inconsistent. Now, what does it show to us? That we cannot put them under any definition. We cannot say this is Yogi Ramsuratkumar. He would behave in any way. Bhagwan often said, every look of his, every word that he uttered, every gesture that he made, every step that he took was in tune with the entire cosmos. How can you bring such a being into any definition at all? Yet, he has prescribed a practice for all of us, promising such efficacious benefit, and we know its effect, we know how true it is from our own experiences. So let us follow what he has to say, what he said to us. As we start every day with his auspicious name, it is up to us to fill up the day, the rest of the day also with his name and with his seva, wherever we are. We shall now submit our prayer at the feet of Bhagwan. He says, just call out this beggar's name. My father would rush help immediately. So let's call out and beg again and again and again, 1,000,000 times and more, for his immediate divine intervention to free the humanity, all of mankind, from the clutches of these terrible viruses that attack both the body and the mind. Let's beg again and again for the uproot of all the negativities of the mind. Let us beg again for those people who are already selfless, carrying on selfless work, hard work, for the sake of the others, for their protection and all-round well-being. Let us also beg for a boost to our economy and pray to Bhagwan for constant remembrance of his powerful name, knowing that his Nama has the capacity, has the power to destroy our past sins and prevent us from committing more sins. Such is the glory of the name. Let's also beg Bhagwan to be good instruments in his hands and to run our everyday life as an offering to him. And finally, let us all seek that supreme blessing for complete, total purification so that we could see his vibrant, living presence everywhere and all the time. Let us beg him again and again to be able to see only his leelas in all happenings of life. There's a saying of Bhagwan in the dining hall, if you want God so seriously, why do you accept the existence of anything else? If you want universal vision of God, you must practice seeing him in everything, in every being, everyone, and see everything as him and his. Whatever you hear is he. Whatever you see is he. It's all he. It's all his. Now above all, and most importantly, let us beg his grace to be able to see only his grace, his hidden grace, his blessing in disguise. Even in the most disastrous experiences of life, knowing it happening because it's necessary for our spiritual growth, for our greater good. So that we look upon it as a blessing, as God's will, and accept it as a blessing and be grateful to him for it, as Bhagwan expects us all to do. Let us also pray for all the species of the cosmos to be free from their present state of misery and get a lift to a higher plane. And finally, we shall seek once again that supreme blessing for the eternal living in him, the supreme deity, the supreme entity. He is not only the solutions to our problems of life, he is also our dissolution. Jai Yogi Ramsuratkumar.